This is the plaintiff, Daryl Tynes. He says he was riding his bike when the defendant made a right turn on a red light and ran over him. Then the crazy woman yelled at him to get up and get out of the way because she was late for work. Luckily, a bystander who witnessed the whole thing blocked in her car, but she scooted around him, so he jotted down her license plate number. He was taken to the hospital. Turns out the woman has no insurance, and he's here in the good name of what's right, suing her for every penny of the $1,500 he surely owed. This is the defendant, Yamali Rashnavati. She wasn't even moving as she was waiting to exit her parking lot when the plaintiff clipped the front of her car. That's right, she was at a dead standstill. The guy hit her car, then toppled over off his bike. This plaintiff trying to extort her for money. This is a setup if you ask her, and she's here defending herself any way she can because she didn't hit this guy. She's accused of banging up a biker.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas. Daryl Tynes, you are suing Yamile Rashnavati for $1,500, the value of your bike, and $750, and the value of cab fare that, according to you, was also $750 when you didn't have the bike and were out of commission. What happened?
Yes, on September 1st, I was taking an early morning bicycle ride, and I came to a light that was green. As I was approaching the light, I was struck by this lady's vehicle that I was thrown off the bike and landed on top of the handlebars.
Okay, come on over here and show me. Oh goodness, it's Oakland Park Boulevard is where you're.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that is a very busy street. How many lanes is Oakland Park Boulevard?
2.
2 each way.
The 2 up here, and as I was going westbound, going across the green light.
Take that motorcycle right there. You see it?
Yes. I'm on the sidewalk.
Are you on the sidewalk?
I'm on the sidewalk.
Why are you on the sidewalk?
Because there's no bicycle lane.
So you're on the sidewalk?
Yeah, on the
Are
sidewalk.
you allowed to be on the sidewalk?
Yes, you are in Florida.
Check.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I'm going across the light where this lady out of nowhere just came and just hit me. I flips over and landed right on top of my handlebar where I received a contusion to my chest. As I'm laying there on the ground.
Did you see her before she popped out or no?
No, she just came out of nowhere.
Okay.
So as I'm laying
So
on
where does the impact take place? Can you put the car and the motorcycle where the impact takes place?
about right here.
Okay. All
So
right.
I'm like laying on the ground. This lady get out her car, opposed to asking me, "Are you all right, sir?" or anything of that nature. She tell me to get out the way. She's late for work and dragging my bicycle out the road. Now this
Wait, she dragged your bicycle off the road?
Yeah, dragged my bicycle.
'Cause it was
off
in
the
her
road.
way?
It was in her way.
Okay.
So Good Samaritan seen all this transpiring, and what he do is block this lady because you can see that this lady is trying to get out the way, and I'm inching out the road to avoid getting hit any further. So he had her blocked in, but there's a road from Oakland is a busy street, and people honking their horn. But at the time, he's already on the 911 talking to the dispatcher. So he eased out the way so that she can go, and so people can go out, because there's people from the apartment getting out as well. But there's a light about right to here where she's got had to get caught at, but he was able to read her license plate number off.
And he gave it to you?
He gave it to the dispatcher.
Okay.
I didn't know nothing of regards to this. It was just.
What were you doing during all this?
I was down on the air, ground, gasping for air because all the air was knocked out of me from the impact that he
Okay,
handled.
I'm going to ask you to go ahead and come back here. So, was an ambulance called?
Yes, the ambulance was called.
And then what happened?
I was rushed to the hospital.
And do you have your medical records?
What
were your injuries?
Contusion.
No, I'd like to see that from the doctors. Do you have medical records?
Yeah.
You're looking at me like I'm asking for, a Martian in there or
No, I
something.
didn't have
What
it,
medical records is what you should have here. Do you have them or no?
The medical records is from the MRI.
Okay, let's see what medical records you do have.
There goes some more here.
What happened to the bicycle?
While I was in the Alma lab, somebody stole the bike.
How do you know? Because it wasn't there when you came back?
No, I asked the officers, they got the case number, did y'all retain my bicycle? They said no, it was stolen. Yeah.
Were the police officers at the scene before the ambulance took you?
The ambulance was already there. The police didn't show up till way I was inside my hospital bed under machines.
What happened?
Okay, I live in this
Come on
condo
over here and
complex.
show it to me, too.
I live right here. Oakland Park Boulevard, you cannot drive north. It's blocked off. There are condos on this side. You can only turn right or left. The red light is here. There's another red light here. And there was another red light here. And there were cars blocking my way. So there's a condo sign here that blocks the view to the
You know,
sidewalk.
most times people ask me, can I write on
They
your...
sure do.
Wow, you just went right in there. So go ahead. There's a what? What's the thing next to your
The
car?
condo signage blocks the view to the sidewalk, and I take the turn every morning, so I have to go on a pedestrian walkway, advance there to clear the sidewalk. I advance usually twice. When I advance the second time, I see him about 30 meters
So
on
you
his
saw him?
bike.
And
Yeah.
he was on the
He
sidewalk?
saw me. I saw him.
Wait, hold on. He's on the sidewalk? Or is he
rolling.
calling it a sidewalk, but it's really a bike path?
There is a bike path. He was on the sidewalk, just rolling. His feet were not on the pedals. He wasn't pedaling, so he was just coasting.
So you saw him?
I saw him. So then I looked into my rearview mirror because I did want to back up, but there was already a van approaching me, which is the witness. The witness pulled up behind me in a van, so I couldn't move. So I look again, and he looks at me, and he just doesn't stop.
Wait, why don't you keep stopping and let him pass if you see him?
I couldn't back up.
You don't have to back up. Just stop. Why don't you just not move? Just stay where you
That's
are.
what I did.
Wait, that's not what you did because the bike didn't hit the side of your car. The front of your car hit the bike.
No, he just kind of grazed the front of my car. He
Right, the front. Right.
Scratched the front with the spokes of his wheel, I think, the spokes of the wheels.
Uh-huh.
And then he tipped over on
Right,
on
but
the
you see,
walkway.
but here's the thing. See, if he's coming here and you see him, which kills me, okay? All right, and he can clear. If you just don't move, he'll clear you or whatever.
I was already
But
in the
stop.
walkway.
Then you're in the walkway. Then he would have hit you right here, but he didn't. You see, he hit you here, which means that you were moving when he hit you because he didn't go like this and go hit you. He's on the sidewalk. You see him, and you tried to clear it before he came, and that's why you're telling me his feet are off the pedals. Because I could have had a chance to clear that. I do that every morning. To him, your first words aren't, "Are you okay?" It's, "Oh, no, you're not going to do this to me." Tell me why you said that. And then,
He started clutching his chest and breathing heavily. And then already then I understood what he's trying to do. So I told him, you're not going to do that.
what was he
this
trying to
time."
do, did you think?
Well, he was faking it. To me, I saw the way he tipped over, he hadn't really fallen because he didn't hit my car. He grazed the front, and I can show you the pictures. I did not send you the evidence of the photos. So
Yeah,
while
show me the pictures. So you thought he was setting you up for a lawsuit?
He didn't finish with that. When I told him, I gave him my business card, and I told him I have to go to work. I told him, if there's anything you can call me, but you're not going to get a penny from me. The moment I said that, he looked at me like, and I said, bye. So I started to walk towards my car.
Yeah, but you can't do that. There's laws about that in Florida, too. You can't walk away from an accident.
I didn't
Even
hit
if you
him.
think it's a bogus accident, it's certainly contact. You're supposed to, wait until the police get there and blah, blah, blah. Go on. So
So
go on.
then he said, you're not going anywhere. He got up and he ran past me. And because my car door was still open, as soon as I sat in the seat, he jumped on the hood of my car butt first. He turned around, he was holding on to the windshield. And then I put the car in drive and I tried to maneuver for him to leave.
Wait. The man is on your car.
On the hood of my car.
Grabbing to your windshield, and so you try to shake him off by continuing to drive?
Yeah.
You don't see anything wrong with that?
He attacked my car and he damaged the hood and he wasn't getting off the car. So I got back off the car.
Do you have any evidence of the damage to your hood?
The pictures you are holding.
Here it is.
He says he was projected onto the road, so he should explain how the bump appeared on my hood.
How did the bump appear on her hood? Because there is a bump on her hood from someone jumping on it.
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
It
I was
wasn't
on the-
you?
I was on the ground. Got the Korea,
Okay, so was there damage to the bike?
I don't know, because the bike was on the pedestrian walkway to my left, and because he was on my car and I was yelling at him to get off the car, he wouldn't get off the car. I took the bike and I threw the bike on the other sidewalk.
Did you really do that? Do you have any insight into your own behavior, like that you think that you're like
compassion.
Tough girl telling me this, like thinking that there's absolutely nothing wrong with anything that you did that morning? You know.
Well, I felt attacked. It's the first time.
Then you stop and you call the police and you let them handle it. What if he like had a gun and hit? I mean, are you nuts? You're from South Florida, okay? I mean, are you crazy? Picking up the bike and throwing it out and like, what are you doing?
That morning, I had to open the business that I was working in.
Yeah, what is the business you're working in? The cancer cure? What business were you opening that you couldn't wait? Tell me what it is. What do you do?
You hit me, even though you were going the right way. Are you also responsible for the accident?
I think yes, because you don't know what the other person is doing. Maybe he is going to sleep.
Why does it have to be a woman driver?
When it's a woman.
Why'd you make it a woman driver?
I didn't say it has to be a woman.
Why'd you make it a woman driver? I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you. Going inside the courtroom.
I'm an esthetician. I work in skincare. I had to open the spa.
Well, you have to, because whoever needed their skin dealt with that morning, had a skin emergency, as my children say, and you certainly couldn't be put upon to wait for the police. Come on, man. And you threw the bike out of the way? Do you have any evidence of what your bike cost you, sir? Also, you are claiming $750 for cab fare. Do you have $750 worth of receipt for cabs?
No, I didn't know.
What'd you pull that figure out of?
Come to court on the
Can't hear
receipts. I didn't know I would have to show receipts.
Oh, well, how are you going to prove $750 of cab fare? How are you going to do that?
Because I thought basically from the pain and suffering and from the impact.
But you're not suing for pain and suffering. You want to sue for pain and suffering? Bring me evidence of pain and suffering. Did you bring me medical records that show any injury to you?
Yeah, I just showed you to it.
So you called the lawyer before calling a doctor? And the lawyer told you where to get your MRI?
Yes. And the reason why I accepted it at that time.
What happened? Where's the law firm now, though? That's what they say.
They said she didn't have no kind of insurance.
Ah, that's what it is. There's no deep pocket, so it's not worth them pursuing. Why are you driving without insurance?
I have insurance.
That ain't what Tallahassee said.
Okay. Do you have any evidence of any injury to you other than from the place that the lawyer sent you? Did it break skin?
Yeah.
Do you have pictures?
I can show it right now. You know how it then went right into my chest. This area right here.
That's okay. Come on over
From
here.
the impact. There was gushing.
Right up here, this way. Right in that corner for me.
What are you pointing at?
This circle right here.
Okay, and that's what?
From the handlebars when my chest landed on top of the
On the handlebars. All right, you can go ahead and go back. And you said you had evidence of the value of the bike? Here. This is just a little piece of paper that... Okay, dude, seriously. Honestly, I think this case is worth something, but you're such a liar about so many things that you're making me just want to take a bath right now. Honestly, this is a receipt that you could buy at any Home Depot where you had somebody write $750 for your special Mongoose mountain bike. How about a little more evidence that you had a special Mongoose mountain bike than this? When I have a case where somebody said, I think you're right, I think you were trying to be taken for a ride. However, when I have a case when somebody says, yeah, I saw him, and then I just figured I'd keep going because he would stop for me, when they have the right of way, because they do, okay, it's your fault, okay? But is it $1,500 your fault? Not based on the proof that I'm seeing here. Certainly not. I find in favor of the plaintiff in the amount of $200.
Well, the plaintiff does prevail, but not nearly what he wanted to get in court. You're smiling. Why?
Because he tried, and it didn't work.
Yeah, but she's convinced you hit him.
Well, the damage on my car, I think, kind of proved to her that something was off.
Well,
with his story.
Okay. Thank you very much. You must sign a few documents. All right, Mr. Tynes, you tried. but you didn't get what you want. You know, you needed more evidence. You know that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to come to people's court. I thought just by the severity of my injuries. And, but I did show some form of retaliation to the point where I'm able to get something out of it, and I just didn't let this lady just get away with treating me worse than a person would treat an animal. And she learned from her experience that, and what the judge has said, you don't just hit people and react the way you did, because it could have led into
You're
something
absolutely
more,
right.
worse.
And you lost the bike. You don't have the bike either.
No, I don't. Yeah.
Well, that's a shame. It was a bad day. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay, short and sweet, Doug. If you can avoid an accident, even if you're doing the right thing, you have to do it legally. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Julie London. She says she hired the defendant to install a new glass shower door in her home. And the very first time she showered, she heard what sounded like a loud gunshot. Turns out the shower door shattered into a million pieces because he didn't install it correctly. She could have been seriously hurt and cut by the shards of the glass. She's haunted by it and doesn't trust the defendant to repair it because he's a hack who doesn't know what he's doing. She's suing him here and now for the $1,270 she paid him. This is the defendant, Jesse. He says he installs 6 to 8 shower doors per day, thank you very much, so he's quite versed in the correct installation of them. Nothing he could have done would cause the shower door to shatter the way it did. He thinks she hit into it with something and is now trying to pin the blame on him. He refuses to return her money, but is willing to install a new shower door for her if she'll pay him. He's accused of a shattering installation.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case in the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant installed a glass shower door the very first time she used it. The glass shattered, but the defendant says if it broke, she did it. It's the case of bad piece of glass.
Thank you, Douglas. Julie London, you are suing the defendant's company. You've asked us not to mention your last name or the name of your company for $1,270 that you say he owes you because he installed a shower glass door in a faulty manner and ended up shattering?
Yes.
What happened?
I wanted to get a whole new shower installed. My husband did the cast iron tub, got the plumbing done, got the tile done. It was wonderful. Then I had to get my glass doors installed. And I looked on Craigslist. I called him, and he wrote me these long text messages. I thought, you know what, this is nice. This guy really wants my business. But from that point on, it was just a whole mishigas of craziness.
So you hire him, you agree on a price, and the price is what, $1,100?
Yes.
All right, and then were you ordering the glass on your own, or was he ordering the glass?
He ordered it. He took care of everything.
Okay, so you ordered the glass, and what was it, a frameless window?
A frame.
From his shower door.
A frameless shower enclosure, which consisted of one fixed panel and one hinged door.
Okay,
the
and she
only
didn't
hardware...
provide the glass.
No.
Okay, so what happens? It gets installed, and do you pay him?
It didn't. That's when he got mad at me and fought me. But no, first he did the fixed panel only because the other door came in the wrong size. He ordered it the wrong size.
Meaning what?
It's not accurate at all.
What happened with the first door?
There's a gap. There's a certain amount of a gap that you typically want between your door and fixed panel and door, and I just wasn't happy with how small of a gap there was. So, in this particular case, it's pretty common. In my line of work, I can take that door and bring it to the manufacturer, have them polish that edge, which takes off a 1/16 to 1/8 of an inch, which gave me a better
I understand what you're saying.
It was practically rubbing.
Right. Whose fault is that? Who measured the glass and ordered it? Okay. So what you wanted to do was what?
Because I didn't have that edge polished, I was able to take that same 1/16 of an inch off of the door. Well,
Did you take it to the manufacturer?
Yes. And,
okay.
And then it's just a polishing technique. It takes a 1/16 of an inch off.
Okay. So you install it, and what happens? Tell me what happens.
He said he was all done with it April 29th. So I was so happy, to finally be in this beautiful, beautiful shower. And
Do you have pictures?
I do.
Okay. So what happens?
I was so happy to be in my shower, and then all of a sudden, I heard this loud explosion, and I thought, somebody shot me. I shut my eyes, and I stood there for a minute, and then, finally had the nerve to open up my eyes, and I turned around, and
Were you in the shower when it happened?
I was naked. I was naked,
Were you
yes.
taking a shower?
Yes. And the thing is I would have had no way to get out. Thank goodness I am married, because otherwise it's like, how the heck would I get out of that shower?
Oh, you'd get out, hon. You'd get out without a husband. You could get out.
Do you know what? I will show you these pictures, because it would have been, you would have to call out the window.
What is this a picture
help.
of with a shower curtain?
That is just that I have to use a shower curtain because I don't have a shower door anymore.
Okay.
And also the fixed panel that he put in was not done properly. Okay, let me...
What is this a picture of? Who's that?
Oh, that's my neighbor, because we thought we were going to need a witness. So that was Indra.
So that's her going...
in. Great thread for Facebook. So I was taking all these pictures, but I didn't realize, my feet were bloodied, and I didn't even know until I was tracking blood on the floor, and then my husband took shards of glass out of my feet and my shin, but then he gave me a foot rub too, so I didn't want to sue for pain and
Well,
suffering.
I'd give you a foot rub. Your pedicure is impeccable. Okay.
I thank you
All
so
right.
much.
What?
But those are
All
pure
right. Hold on one second.
pictures.
What?
I also have all
just
the
a
text
moment, ma'am.
messages.
What is, if not you, then who? You're the guy who installed all this, and it shatters within a day. Like, you pick the glass, you pick the glass manufacturer, you take it to them to alter, and then next thing you know, it all shatters. Whose fault could it possibly be? It's not her fault.
Well,
what do you think she did in her brand new shower? Take a golf club and bash it? I mean,
the honest answer is I don't know. I had never had any complaint of any, improper anything as far as installation goes. So I just said, "Oh my God, are you okay?" I don't know what happened. This is all in a text, of course. And then I finished that text up with, "I'd be willing to, work with you in whatever way we could work out."
What was it you suggested?
So I said I would either pay for the shower door, and if she'd be willing to pay for me to install that shower door, or vice versa. Either
right.
I would, you know what I mean? I would either pay for the glass.
That it should cost her again, and you didn't like that idea.
I have it in text.
Because he picked both the glass. He picked the glass and he did the installation, and it can only be the glass or the installation, or my theory with a baseball bat or a golf club. Those are the only two things. Because if I'm going to take a shower, all I'm going to do is open and close the shower door. I, as a thinking person, might think that it has something to do with the shaving of the door, and perhaps it wasn't completely done correctly, and that maybe that with the hinges that hold the door weren't meant to have that messed with. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But I'm trying to figure out what could she possibly do that would make it her fault.
By no means do I think she intentionally did anything.
Right.
All I'm saying is, for me, should I take that picture and just be like, "Oh my God, her door exploded. Let me order a whole new enclosure." And you know what I mean?
You should. You should order a whole new enclosure and do it for free and replace it. But she doesn't want you in there anyway because she doesn't think you know what you're doing. But here's where the problem lies. If she had ordered all of the parts and you were just the installer, you could blame the glass. Or the glass people complain. This is what always happens. You even printed something off the internet. The glass manufacturer always blames the installer, and the installer always blames the glass manufacturer, except for you're both guys, because she doesn't have privity of contract with the glass people. You do. So if there's something wrong with the glass, go sue the glass people. Go prove it to them that it wasn't your installation. It's all you. You're the guy who comes in, quotes a price, and is going to do the whole thing. So if something goes wrong, it's on you to reimburse her and or fix it. Now, he never offered, "Hey, I'll just redo this for free." He offered, "You got to pay me installation, or you got to pay for the glass." And you said...
He only offered to pay for the glass.
Well, and you didn't want him back because you don't think he knows what he's doing enough to do this.
Exactly.
All right, so the agreement between you guys was $1,100?
Right.
And you paid him the $1,100?
Yes.
And then why are you suing for $1,270?
He also broke a tile and didn't tell me about it.
How do you know he broke the tile?
Because it's right
there
by the hinge. Yes, we do.
Is it in the pictures that you
actually have
submitted?
a real... Yes.
Is it in the pictures that you submitted to the court?
There it is.
Okay. So you're talking about the crack on the left where he was putting in the...
So that would be...
So
I'd put down
you're
20
asking for
bucks.
$20 for the broken tile. It seems reasonable. And what's the rest of it? $150 for your cleanup of the broken glass?
And the removal, yes, it was...
All right, my friend. I find that you need to reimburse them the $1,100 for sure. The $20 for the broken tile, which I guess happened when you were putting the screws in or something, it looks like.
It didn't happen at all.
I'm sorry?
It didn't happen from me is what I'm saying.
Who is it going to happen from? It's right. It's a nano inch from the screws you put in.
It didn't happen from me is what I'm telling you. It did not occur from me.
Okay, it occurred from you. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. $20 for the broken tile and $150 for the cleanup of the glass all over her pedicure and body. So $1,270. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
So the plaintiff convinces the judge, and she's going to get all $1,270 back. Jesse, I'm surprised you never mentioned anything about manufacturer's warranty on that door. Wouldn't they stand behind the door?
They would. I felt like I just didn't get any opportunity to put forth any of the few things that I had to do.
Didn't the first thing you think of say, look, I'll go to them, they'll replace the door. Was that right or not?
Yes. Yep. Yep. It's not covered. Breakage is, as funny as it sounds, is not covered by the manufacturer's warranty.
So you don't think it was their problem, it was a faulty door, it was your installation then?
Oh, no. No, I believe it was definitely something to do with the glass itself. You know, there's all kinds of research.
It's
yes,
their product.
But for me to be able to prove that, I mean, their warranty doesn't cover it, so
Okay.
I'm kind of left with it. So.
Well, you're on the hook for it. Okay, thank you very much. All right, Miss London. Not to be confused with the singer, right?
Hi, Doug.
How
it
are
is so
you?
nice to finally meet you after all these millions of years.
Not that long.
Well, almost.
You must have been scared to death.
I was, like I said, I thought somebody had shot me.
Oh, my God. Well, listen, congratulations. I hope you
Thank
get your
you.
shower door fixed. And
I
thank you.
feel that the most important thing is that people should always try to pursue justice. They don't have to look at it as fighting. Just stand up for yourself and do the right thing. Back to you, Harvey.
Harvey?
Okay, Julie, thank you very much. Didn't know I had fans. Here's the deal, that if you hire somebody to do a job and they are utterly incompetent, you do not have to invite them back into your home so they can try and make it right if they are simply imbeciles. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Russell Wagner. He says the defendant, a real estate broker, found him an apartment which he was going to rent, but once he spoke with the landlord, they both agreed it wasn't a good fit. The defendant now refuses to return the $1,700 fee he paid her. He never signed a lease. This woman has no right keeping his hard-earned money, and today's judgment day, because he's suing her for just that. This is the defendant, Hannah Kowecki. She says she showed the plaintiff this apartment twice. He liked it. She prepared all the paperwork, collected the security deposit and her fee from him, and the apartment was ready to move in. A week later, he changed his mind and now expects all the work she did for him was because she works for free? Sorry, buddy, but her fee is her fee, and she's keeping it. She's accused of not doing her job.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff hired the defendant, a real estate broker, to find him an apartment, but says the deal fell through and now she won't return his money. Now, the defendant says she did the work, so if he didn't seal the deal, it's his problem. It's the case of getting real over real estate.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Mr. Wagner, you are suing your former real estate broker, Ms. Kowecki, for $1,700, her broker's fee that you paid her because, according to you, she didn't earn it. Tell me, what happened?
I reached out to her to get an apartment because I own my own home in Pennsylvania. I had explained to her that I have a house in Florida. I go there in the winter, but I had just recently sold my house about a year or two ago, and I was looking for an apartment because my kids and my grandkids are there. So when I come to visit, I was contemplating moving back to Queens. Anyway, she showed me the apartment. It needed work. You know, I told her I had 4 dogs. You know, the dogs were my issue.
I imagine it's very hard to find an apartment that'll accept.
So I knew
$4.
needing work being done, I would have to do, being that the dogs, you know, they didn't know me, having the dogs would be a problem. Anyway, I looked at the apartment. I said I like the apartment. They said it is what it is. It was a short, it was a short look through, whatever, because I had a doctor's appointment. We left. She told me the apartment was mine. She spoke to the, I guess, one of the owners and explained I had the dogs. And she kept saying, they were small dogs. He's a nice guy, whatever. And she said to me, I told her, you didn't get into it, but she said, don't worry about it. They don't come around. They're not going to bother you. Anyway, I left. I had contacted that night and told her I had a communion for my granddaughter that Saturday. That I was coming in.
Well, before that, according to your statement, you went to see the apartment again that weekend. You drove by and you saw another realtor showing it.
That's that day I'm talking about.
Okay, so you contacted the defendant because you were concerned because you wanted it.
Right.
Okay.
So I came in for that Saturday with my sister, drove in from PA, and I went to the apartment to show my sister where it was. She looked in the window. I looked in the window just to see. I seen the door open, and I seen somebody in there, and I thought it was a landlord. So I figured I would just introduce myself. Make a long story.
That was awkward. So you walked in on someone else's showing,
Right.
And what'd you say?
Nothing. I just said, I was, I looked at the apartment. I was interested in the apartment.
Did you say to the people who were showing the apartment, hey, I've already got this apartment?
Right, yes.
Had you put money down?
Not at that point, no.
Okay,
'cause I didn't
I
have
was
a check.
told I had this apartment,
Right,
like
yes.
with the person who's there looking at the apartment. All right, go ahead.
So I left, and I did what I went to the communion. I had text the defendant that, that I was there, and somebody was looking at the apartment. She said not to worry, the apartment's yours. Anyway, I met with her that Tuesday, which was the 24th, and I brought the 2 checks, and she insisted upon her commission was $1,700 cash. They didn't want a check, they wanted cash. It raised a red flag. Make a long story short, I went there.
Why did you want cash?
Just because we have a few times back experience with bouncing checking.
Right. So, so you pay her cash because you're taking the apartment. And
Right.
what happens? Do you have a written contract with him for your fee, like anything that he signed?
Yes.
May I see it? Okay,
Yes.
and what happens?
I met her at the apartment. I did a fast walkthrough because I had a doctor's appointment. Went
No,
back.
are you repeating yourself from the first time you looked at the
No,
apartment?
this is the second time.
You also had a doctor's appointment the second time?
Yes, I had.
Okay, go
because
ahead.
I was having breathing problems, so I
Okay.
had to go for tests.
Okay.
Anyway, we went back to her office. She had me fill out. There was a lease. I didn't know.
Okay, so it's right here. Broker's commission, apartment rental proposal. You fill that out. You pay a security of $1,700, and then the tenant is to pay the realty company the broker sum of $1,700 for the services of locating the above premises. It is understood this fee is due and payable on the date this proposal is signed by the prospective tenant, and you signed the proposal that day. Okay, and then you pay her. What ended up happening with you in this apartment? Why did you not want it? You didn't want it, right? The landlord didn't say you can't have 4 dogs.
Because I didn't know I had to take care of the snow in the winter, which I was going to Florida. I didn't know I had to maintain the sidewalk.
Right, but you had already put down money. You had
But I
already
didn't
put
know
the
that.
security.
She never informed me of any of that.
Right, but you had already given the security deposit.
Because
And-
I signed the papers, and she said, don't worry about it. The landlord don't come around.
So what didn't you like about the lease? That it required you to do what?
Maintain the property.
What did you think the lease would do? Is it an apartment? Is it a?
It was an apartment. I was supposed to take the garbage in and out. I was
And what planet would you not have to take the garbage in and out? I'm not understanding. It's your
From the
garbage.
curb. No, I take care of the garbage for the house. I shovel the sidewalk in the winter, and if I was in...
Are there other people living
Yes,
there?
there's a 2-family house. It was my sole responsibility.
Taking care
The
of
house,
everybody's
the house
garbage.
Yes, the house garbage.
Okay, show me on the lease where it said that.
I don't have a lease. I have no copies of nothing.
Okay, do
I never
you have
got
the
one.
lease?
No, the lease.
The lease that gave you a problem that caused you to back out.
I don't have it. She never gave me one.
How'd you know what it said?
I read it in there, and then I spoke to the landlord on the phone because they did a phone conference after I signed it.
After you signed what?
The lease.
Oh, you did sign the lease?
Yes, it's there in her
Oh, so
office.
everything that was on the lease you agreed to. But you're saying that the landlord added things above and beyond
When
what
I
was
spoke
on
to
the
him
lease.
over the phone,
Okay,
correct.
well, he doesn't have a right to do that, so you don't have to worry about what he says. He can say afterwards that you have to wear red every day. That doesn't mean that you have to do it because you'd already signed the lease with what you needed there. So what ends up happening that day?
Mr. Wagner texts me that he doesn't, no, called me early in the morning and told me he resigning. Meanwhile...
That he doesn't want it. Did he
That's
say
correct.
why?
No, actually, I don't know the reason even why. Up to today, I don't know why he resigned. He loves it. He make me hold on to it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, it sounds like
don't
he was,
show
yeah,
it
what
to
do you think
nobody.
you're doing here? This is my apartment. I got this stuff.
That's what
What
happened.
did cause you to change your mind? According to you, it's that the landlord expected more of you than what the lease said?
Right, well, if I'm going to be in Florida in the winter, that means someone has to shovel us.
Why you were shaking your head when he said all this stuff about, you know, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. Go ahead.
Because I don't know anything about that. I don't think landlord asked Mr.
You think he's making it up because he wants his money?
That's what I exactly
You ended up
think.
getting your money back from the landlord, right?
Right.
Yeah, the landlord didn't want you there if you don't want to be there. And then what happens? Did you end up re-renting that to somebody else or no?
After a month. Because I have perfect tenants for this apartment. But Plainful insists if he's not show it
How do
to
you figure
nobody.
that you are going to get it back because you changed your mind after you signed a lease?
That is the question. Will the plaintiff... So does the realtor get to keep her fee?
No.
Why?
She didn't close the deal.
She didn't close the deal because the guy changed his mind.
I would say yes. The realtor did the work, went through all and fulfilled all the specifications to the contract.
Fair point. Case closed. Going inside the courtroom.
You not only agreed to this, you signed a lease. You end up going there and saying, what do you think you're doing? No, 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 no. This place was promised to me. And you hand her the commission. You've already paid it. It's not like she's suing you for it. And then the next day you change your mind for whatever reason you change your mind. You're claiming that, well, too much would be expected of me. But he can't expect, I don't believe you. Because he can't, just because a landlord says, oh, I want you to wear white after Labor Day, whether you like it or not. You know, what difference does that make what he says he wants? You have a lease, and that's what he's confined to. And it's not the landlord who said, no, I'm adding stuff about this and that. It's you who call and say, I changed my mind. And you end up changing your mind the next day, which now makes it April 25th, and then puts the landlord, who was so nice to return your money, in the position that he ends up not being able to rent it the next time. And you not only want that money back for changing your mind, you also want her commission? No. This verdict is for the defendant. You're lucky you got the money back from the landlord.
So the plaintiff fails to provide enough testimony to win your case. That's what it comes down to. The judge said you're lucky you got the money back from the landlord. You think, though?
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, you signed the lease, you're on the hook, you know, at least to her. She gets her fee. What have you learned?
Nothing. Not to deal with real estate.
Okay.
Pretty much.
That's not really what you should have learned. All right, thank you very much. Ms. Kawicki, all right, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, you can keep your fee.
Thank you.
Okay.
I did my job. I put my time and effort to rent this apartment. And I am glad that I didn't work for nothing.
I understand.
Just got
We all understand. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
okay?
you.
You must sign a few documents. Harvey, a good lesson for anyone leasing an apartment.
Okay, Doug, one caveat. If the contract said the realtor only gets paid if the deal is closed, then guess what? The realtor loses.
This is the plaintiff, Daryl Tynes. He says he was riding his bike when the defendant made a right turn on a red light and ran over him. Then the crazy woman yelled at him to get up and get out of the way because she was late for work. Luckily, a bystander who witnessed the whole thing blocked in her car, but she scooted around him, so he jotted down her license plate number. He was taken to the hospital. Turns out the woman has no insurance, and he's here in the good name of what's right, suing her for every penny of the $1,500 he surely owed. This is the defendant, Yamali Rashnavati. She wasn't even moving as she was waiting to exit her parking lot when the plaintiff clipped the front of her car. That's right, she was at a dead standstill. The guy hit her car, then toppled over off his bike. This plaintiff trying to extort her for money. This is a setup if you ask her, and she's here defending herself any way she can because she didn't hit this guy. She's accused of banging up a biker.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Daryl Tynes, you are suing Yamile Rashnavati for $1,500, the value of your bike, and $750, and the value of cab fare that, according to you, was also $750 when you didn't have the bike and were out of commission. What happened?
Yes, on September 1st, I was taking an early morning bicycle ride, and I came to a light that was green. As I was approaching the light, I was struck by this lady's vehicle that I was thrown off the bike and landed on top of the handlebars.
Okay, come on over here and show me. Oh goodness, it's Oakland Park Boulevard is where you're.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, that is a very busy street. How many lanes is Oakland Park Boulevard?
2.
2 each way.
2 up here, and as I was going westbound, going
Go
across
ahead.
the
Take
green
that
light.
motorcycle right there. You see it?
Yes. I'm on the sidewalk.
Are you on the sidewalk?
I'm on the sidewalk.
Why are you on the sidewalk?
Because there's no bicycle lane.
So you're on the sidewalk?
Yeah, on the
Are
sidewalk.
you allowed to be on the sidewalk?
Yes, you are in Florida.
Check.
Yep. Go ahead.
So I'm going across the light where this lady out of nowhere just came and just hit me. I flips over and landed right on top of my handlebar where I received a contusion to my chest. As I'm laying there on the ground.
Did you see her before she popped out or no?
No, she just came out of nowhere.
Okay.
So as I'm laying
So
on
where does the impact take place? Can you put the car and the motorcycle where the impact takes place?
about right here.
Okay. All
So
right.
I'm like laying on the ground. This lady get out her car, opposed to asking me, "Are you all right, sir?" or anything of that nature. She tell me to get out the way. She's late for work and dragging my bicycle out the road. Now this
Wait, she dragged your bicycle off the road?
dragged my bicycle.
'Cause it was
off
in
the
her
road.
way?
It was in her way.
Okay.
So Good Samaritan seen all this transpiring, and what he do is block this lady, because you can see that this lady is trying to get out the way, and I'm inching out the road to avoid getting hit any further. So he had her blocked in, but there's a road from Oakland is a busy street, and people honking their horn. But at the time, he's already on the 911 talking to the dispatcher. So he eased out the way so that she can go, and so people can go out, because there's people from the apartment getting out as well. But there's a light about right to here where she's got had to get caught at, but he was able to read her license plate number off.
And he gave it to you?
He gave it to the dispatcher.
Okay.
I didn't know nothing of regards to this. It was just
What were you doing during all this?
I was down on the air ground.